what do you want to do with this agricultural technology when you are done? Because it's not like they are teaching you how to make the machines, the agricultural machines. What can you, it mustn't even be the big machines, like little things that you can do for them to enhance productivity. Those are the things we should be looking out for. Not going to school to spend 5 years. As in, you're studying a technological course, you're spending 5 years. On theory, you're not innovating anything. We're joking. Everything that we did in school was just theory. I mean, I was in an office where people that studied abroad, like, we're all working in the same space. So it's my University of Abuja degree. Don't just...
Nah. Hey guys, welcome to the very first episode of In Their Shoes, the show where we talk about how leadership decisions affect everyday Nigerians, especially us, the youths. In this show, we will talk, we will gist, and we will drag when necessary, but we'll definitely ask the question, if you were in power, what would you do differently? My name is Akaresia Kwevu Mukoro, and I am your host. Today, we'll be talking about the topic every Nigerian youth can relate to, which is the gap between classroom and reality. That moment when after school you realize and you're like, is this what I went to school for? But I won't be discussing this alone. With me in the studio is Mrs. Pan Ritmoa. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And together we'll be dissecting this topic. So first things first, let's get to know you, Mrs. Pan Ritmoa. Who is Mrs. Pan Ritmoa?
Okay, so first of all, I'm a Nigerian because I get that question a lot. People ask me, are you Nigerian? Yes, I'm very, very Nigerian. I was born in the core north, Sokoto State. My father is from Plateau. My mom is from Delta State. I'm married to a Benue man. I live in the FCT, so I'm very Nigerian.
You are the Nigerian.
Yes. And I went to school to study computer science, but I'm a fashion designer. As in, that is what I do majorly. I also work as a program manager. I've been in the development sector for a while. I've done project management in communities, peace building, women and youth development, empowerment, as well as digital skills training for young people in communities. I think that's the only thing I do with my certificates.
At least it's useful.
At least it's useful. Yes, I'm also a mentor. I try to mentor the young people in my space, teenagers, young ladies particularly, building them and empowering them with skills that will help them prepare for the life ahead. Because like most of us, we just stumbled in life. Okay, we're just here. What to do?
Yeah.
So I try my best to empower those around me to be prepared for the life ahead of them. I recently started a show in honor of my father's memorial, 24 years. He passed on 24 years ago. I felt, at the time my father died, I was still very young. But growing up without him, I felt crushed because at every point I needed that fatherly figure. Yeah. And he wasn't there. I tried to, just live life regardless. But I realized that has built some kind of strength in me. And I've learned a lot of lessons. And so I'm using my experience and other people's experiences to reach out to other people who are going through the same thing, not necessarily losing a loved one, but maybe just even going through a difficult time, maybe a difficult marriage, not having people to mentor you. Just basically using our experiences to empower people, teach them resilience, strength, and to keep pressing. So it's called Pressed but Not Crushed.
Pressed but Not Crushed.
Yes, so that's the title of the program, Pressed but Not Crushed. So this is the second year rolling. So that's basically all about me.
Wow. That is very inspiring. I really like the part about it. What is it? Pressed but not crushed. Yes. That is very inspiring. I've never heard about something like that. That is very inspiring. And these are the Nigerian youths.
We are the Nigerian.
Yeah, the Nigerian youths that are meant to be lazy. But this one is very resourceful. Sounds very resilient as well. Yeah. So today, you know what we're talking about now. The reality, the gap between classroom. What I ordered versus what I got.
Oh my God.
So, the first question now I'm going to ask you is, do you feel like school prepared you for life after graduation?
Absolutely not. I can say that with my full chest. I went to I think my life generally, I went to government schools, right? So I went to a unity school.
Ooh, wow.
I attended Federal Government Girls College in Lantang. And then I went to University of Abuja. No offense, I made a lot of friends, right? So, I mean, I can say that socially I was prepared for the life because I had connections, people that I knew. I was able to experience that relationship of having different Nigerians across. But when it comes to the real thing, like the reality, the thing on ground,
Yeah.
studied computer science. And I think I got my first job straight out of school. It was an internship role. This was like 3 months after I had finished school. And I realized that thing that I learned in school, I should just keep it and learn what is in front of me. Because I did not see anything like all the things my lecturers were telling me. For example, my first interview question was, do you know anything about content management? And I'm like, I kind of have an idea. And then the man goes, okay, what can you tell me about content management? And I said, the 3 months I finished school, like the 3 months between when I finished and when I got that first job, I had reached out to one of my senior friends who was also he was an IT officer in his office. So I used to just spend like 2-3 days with him in a week during work hours to just like see what he's doing. And so when I went for my first interview and they asked me about content management, it had nothing to do with what they taught me in school. It was what I had picked from what he was doing in the little times I spent with him was what I was able to respond to. It was critical because the graduates that they went to interview, because it was like a graduate internship scheme, they were interviewing other graduates who had served.
Yeah.
I just stumbled on them because I was opportune to be in that place. And they were like, oh, I said I studied computer science. So they asked me some questions. And I responded. And he was like, you're even better than all the graduates that we've been interviewing since morning.
Oh.
And I kid you not, it was not because of what I learned in school. It was the 3 days that I spent with Mr. SE in his office that I learned all of those things.
Wow.
So school did not prepare me for what was to come. I'll give you another scenario. So this was a very funny day. I had gotten to the office under the rain. I was soaked in the rain. Like my shoes were soaked. I had to put them like in the balcony to dry. And then 2 minutes, like my boss came in and he was like, oh, you guys need to go to the field. There's this school that is having an issue with their software. You need to go there and resolve it. And I'm like, but I don't even have shoes to wear. My shoes are wet. And he looked at me and was like, are you joking? In my mind, I was like, how am I supposed to go? He was like, figure it out. I just looked at myself. I just told the driver, okay, let's go. So I bought a slippers on my way out. I was so broken. Like I was crying in the car. I was like, this man is wicked. This man is this. They did not prepare me for that. That your boss will one day come and shout at you and tell you must do, regardless of whether you came in the rain or not.
So it's obvious school did not.
Yeah.
School did not. It did not. But life did.
Life did.
Life is good because life will teach you.
Life will teach you. Certainly.
So this leads me to my next question. What's the wildest thing that school never prepared you for?
I think I would say communication. It's strange because like you speak every day to people.
Yeah.
Like you speak every day to people. But when it comes to like the practical aspect of actually speaking, like speaking with intention, with intentionality, I think that school did not prepare me for that. Because I realized on my first job that even when I had presentations, I was always afraid because I didn't even know there was no structure. I didn't know how to structure my presentations, structure my words. Even like having meetings in the office, like I know what to say in my head.
Yeah, how
to
now
say it out. I felt like
in the corporate way.
Yes, in the corporate way. Like it was not until ChatGPT came and started helping us to polish our words.
But can I ask you something?
Yeah.
I hope it's not. I hope it's not being corporate about saying, you want to tell somebody you're mad, but you have to say it in a corporate way.
No.
I hope that's not what you mean.
It was actually like, so you have the ideas in your head and you know what you are supposed to say, but you don't exactly know how to communicate it.
Okay, so to communicate your message out.
Because sometimes you just lose out the essence of what you're trying to say because you missed out on a word.
Yeah. exactly. I get what you're
Yes,
saying.
so I think that school didn't quite prepare us for that, because everything that we did in school was just theory. And even when they come to, okay, let's do presentations, they'll just say, they'll group people in one group, and then they'll say one person should come and present for the group. And that one person is the one that does.
Yeah, the most outgoing person is the person that normally does
Exactly.
that.
All the others will just do backstage.
Yeah.
So I was really scared of like putting myself out there,
yeah.
because I was afraid of not wanting to. I mean, I was in an office where people that studied abroad, like, we're all working in the same space. So like, it's my University of Abuja degree. Let me just.
Nah.
I mean, it could be maybe like a self-esteem thing too.
Yeah.
But I think that with time, I was able to learn how to put myself out
there. I think that is something schools should teach, because like when you come out of school, the people you come to meet as colleagues, they expect you to know. But that's not it. Teaching about confidence and how to portray your words is something that should be taught. It's very important, not just for jobs, for the whole life you're going to live. It's a life skill, and it's something that, because we see people now paying 2 million, 3 million to learn communication, right? Yeah. Just talking. So, and for me, if I'm to share my own little experience of the wildest thing was, for me, I trained as a lawyer in the abroad. Wow. Right? So in school, I'll watch Suits. I'll see Harvey Specter. Oh Mike Ross. I'll watch How to Get Away with Murder. And I'm seeing Annalise Keating. I'm like, hey, God, this law.
How you came to Nigeria?
And imagine my surprise. I came to Nigeria Law School. My dreams were shattered. Because you can imagine when the lecturers in Nigerian Law School tell you, this thing we're teaching you is for theory. When you go outside, it's different. Just write it to pass. I'm like, why are we just writing it to pass if that's not the practicability of it? And then doing what they call externship in law school, it just showed me like, you know what? I'm not going to do this. So to you watching, what's the wildest thing that school never prepared you for? They're like, it's not the degree that will help me. It's not. Please comment. Put your comments in the comment section. Now let's Mrs. Pan Ritmois. I like your name. It sounds very French.
Sounds very French.
Yeah, I like it. So our next question is, at what point did you genuinely say, so what's the point of this school I went to?
I wouldn't say that it was a particular point. It was like a combination of experiences that I've had over time that I had to just tell myself that, you know what, this is not working. I am going to pursue my passion. So for me, it was more of a spiritual awakening than something that had happened in the physical. All of the experiences had led up onto that time that I was asking myself, but this cannot be all that there is to your life. Exactly. You know, working a 9 to 5 that they are paying you. I mean, I don't want to say how much they were paying me, but it was sapping my energy. I felt like I wasn't living to my full potential. And so I had to have a conversation with myself to say, where do we go from here? What's the way forward? And, you know, in that whole time, I found myself praying about it and asking God for like directions. And it was clear to me what I should be doing. I knew that I wanted to empower more people. And in the space where I wasn't empowering anybody. It was just trying to meet deadlines every day. So I knew I had to come out of that space and be my own person, be myself, be my own person. So I left my 9 to 5 job in 2023. And decided to pursue my fashion business full time. Good. And while I was doing that, I found out, in fact, I didn't even know that I had been doing this like from my service here. I used to do like some monitoring work for WHO. I didn't even know that was what I was meant to be doing. But when I found somehow the opportunity just showed itself, and I found myself back in that space and I was doing those same things, then I was now finding fulfillment in the things that I was doing. So I wake up and I'm excited about the next thing that I'm going to do. Exactly. I'm passionate about, I mean, I make my dresses. I'm happy that I'm doing what I'm doing. And there's just this fulfillment that you find in that space. So it was, I don't know. It was more of a spiritual awakening. I get what you're trying to say, because there's a difference between someone that is working for the money and someone that is working for the passion. Yeah. The person working for the passion, there's this inner drive.
that even if the other person is good at their job, but because it's not really your passion, you work 2 times. This person is just working excited. You are working.
Let's just do it.
And I think this is also something that I think schools should take into consideration, because I saw a video of children in China, and at that age of 3, 4, 5, they are already learning skills, and they are based on how they behave. So if they see this child and this child likes to teach, or is interested in playing ball, or is interested in making things, or is interested in caring for people, they just start putting those kind of things in their path. And I think that's why, because this story you're saying, it's not far from mine, because I also think that's why most people, Nigerian youths, when they're done with school, they don't know what to next.
Do, yeah.
You just realize that, oh, so no more pocket money for you. No more anybody telling you what to do. What are you going to do with your life? Okay, let me get busy here and look for a job. But you lose that point of you there. And I think that is, schools should begin to teach children to know who they are, apart from their profession. So, because it makes your adulthood actually
I think it's important, that thing you said about children. Because I remember as a child, I will never forget, as a child, when I come back from school, I carry my school notebook and I stand in front of my house with charcoal, and I'm writing everything that was taught in school that day. And I'm speaking to the walls of the house as though they are my students. Now that you said it, I just realized that. So I had it in me all this while, but I never, and nobody helps me to like say, okay, this is you, this is it's really important for parents and people in that space to realize that, okay, this child is passionate about this, and push them in that direction, rather than insisting that you must be a lawyer, a doctor.
In fact, a teacher's job is very critical. It's not just to come and write home economics or write English and tell me to say that's how we don't remember. You get it's they are nurturers, they are nurturing dreams and destinies, and I think that's quite important. So that brings me to my next question. What's one thing you had to learn the hard way after school?
Taking credit for my work.
Wow.
I mean,
that's interesting.
I learned it the hard way because it took me about 6 years. It took me about 6 years to figure it out. I would work in teams, and I mean, I was used to always just working in teams. So I work in teams and share all my ideas and everybody. And then when it comes to, okay, who did this work? I mean, we're a team, so everybody says, oh, we did it. And then when we come for reviews, they're telling me that I'm not pulling my weight, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. And I'm wondering, but like, I'm the one that is telling everybody what.
Exactly.
And so it took me about 6 years to actually start to take credit for the work that I do. So I go for meetings and I say, oh, I did this. I initiated the idea that led to this. I started to say the things that I was doing and the input I was bringing to my team, so that people can see that I was actually doing the work that I was doing. And that kind of even helped me in my business, because I mean, I've been making clothes for a while, but I didn't even start putting my designs out there. It was so funny that some people will come and meet me to make clothes for them. As in, I'll make the clothes and then they'll pass it off as my brand. As in, they'll pass it off as their own brand.
Oh,
do you get?
Yeah.
So I started to look at, like, when I stepped out to start to take credit for my work, all of those things started. So so we're doing business. If you want me to make clothes for you and then you're passing it off as your brand, it's a different negotiation.
Exactly.
So let me at least get the money for the work that I'm doing for you and all of that. So that's, I would say that was like a very huge awakening for me.
Exactly. I love that, because modesty, it looks like modesty, but it's not
nowhere.
modesty.
It's not
at all. So now let's get into data a bit. And I just need you to answer like in a line.
Okay.
So in 2021, the Nigerian University Commission, that's the NUC, said that 30% of Nigerian universities had updated their curriculum, yet just 30%. And yet the job market now runs on AI, content, digital tools, things the schools ignore. Right? Now, that's on one side. Then we have countries like Germany. Germany, where 50% of high school graduates go through vocational training. And they are like one of the countries with the lowest unemployment rate globally. So, looking at these two datas, do you think Nigeria is on the right path? Are we even here?
I mean, so I'm going to answer, like you said, I should answer in one line.
Yeah.
So I would say no. But please, if you give me 1 more minute,
Okay.
so that I will say we're not on the right path, because it absolutely makes no sense. So I remember having a conversation with one of my mentees. She's studying agricultural engineering, agricultural technology. And well, they go to farms once in a while. And I kept asking her, what do you want to do with this agricultural technology when you are done?
Yeah.
Because it's not like they are teaching people how to make the machines, the agricultural machines. We need machines for people people are doing coconut oil.
We need machines.
What can they use to extract those?
Yeah.
It mustn't even be the big machines, like little things that you can do for them to enhance productivity.
Yeah.
Those are the things we should be looking out for. Not going to school to spend 5 years. As in, you're studying a technological course, you're spending 5 years. On theory, you're not innovating anything. We're not, we're joking. We're not. I think that maybe in the next couple of years, maybe in the next couple of years, if we don't step up, we will not have schools in Nigeria anymore, because they will not have anything to be teaching. So we really need to step up.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Pan Ritmoir.
So
no, you haven't spoken too much. You've done justice to it. Yeah. I believe everyone watching will also feel the same way. So thank you so much. But before I let you go, it's normal for us in India's Shoes to give you just 30 seconds of small hot seat. Let's dream with you. Okay. So are you ready? You can adjust to.
Yes.
Because like this, you're Minister of Education. So sit down well. You're in your office. They just made you the Minister of Education. You're in your office. You're sitting down. Do you want to close your eyes? You want to imagine? You're sitting down, and now it's time for you to make decisions. Call the shots, right?
Okay.
It's time to do some changes here. And I want you in 30 seconds to give us 3 first moves you will make in office to close this gap that we've been talking about, so that Nigerian youths are more ready for the, in quotes, labor market.
Okay. So I think that basically what I'll do is to revisit the curriculum, right? Yeah. What are we teaching our children? It has not made sense in 30-something years. I know it's more than that, but I'm saying that
it hasn't. Let's be honest.
It hasn't made sense in 30-something years. We need to do something differently. So if it means changing the entire curriculum, like we're not going to be teaching you. I always used to wonder, what is this civic education that they're always teaching in school? It's important, but
it's new. It's quite new, but I don't even know what it's about.
I don't even know how relevant it is. We need to start teaching our children skills like communication.
Exactly.
Presentation, time management.
Oh my Lord, time management. Yeah.
So if we need to put all of that in maybe one course to say maybe this is the subject that you have to learn one of these things every year, that's one thing I'll do. 2, mandatory internship from your 100 level.
Yeah.
I don't understand the idea of how you have to wait till 300 level to go for IT. There are some schools that don't even go for IT at all.
Yeah.
We have an agency that's been set aside for IT, industrial training. They are collecting funding every year. What are they doing with that money? People need to start going for internship every year from your 100 level. I know there are some graduates, some of my mentees, when they're coming from for holidays, they are reaching out to me to say, oh, do you know any organization that wants to take internships and all of that? I think that was also one of the things that helped me too as a person, because my stepdad worked in an accounting firm. I used to go with him to the office every day until the day that he refused to pay me my salary. And I told him I was going to go to fashion school.
Okay.
So one, we're going to change the curriculum, teach things that are big, that are very important. 2, we're going to add internships to your yearly, like every year you're going to do internship. And thirdly, I think maybe entrepreneurship. I know they started it at some point, but like we need to go in depth. It's not just coming to teach us theory entrepreneurship. Before you finish that course, you should start a business.
Yes, let's see.
Let's see the thing that you are doing, the entrepreneurial skill that you've learned. Let's see it's actionable. And we should have like events to celebrate these things. Like, oh, these people have done these exhibitions. These people have done this, that.
This is wonderful. You're Minister of Education already.
Thank you.
We will vote.
Hey, God.
We will vote for you.
Yes.
So, you guys, you've heard it. It's been deep. It's been real with Mrs. Panritmoa. I love her name, by the way. It's so French. I love her name. Something for me that stood out while she was just talking now is that, but while sharing her experience, is that there's this thing. So our schools are focused on theory. Meanwhile, the real way to learn is theory, practical. Theory, practical. And you learn this when, I'm sure most of you haven't learned it as you finish school now. No work. You must have entered entrepreneurship. You will know that the theory of business and the practical is not the same thing. So that's the way people would learn better. So one thing is that we cannot keep training youths or bringing up unemployable youths, preparing them for a society that no longer exists. We need to train our youths to make them employable. They need to come out and feel like, I was born ready. That kind of thing. And that's on period, by the way.
Caps lock.
That's on period. So I think there's something that we should focus on. And you've heard from youths like us, and I'm sure you're there, and you're also airing your views. Please air your views in the comment section. And thank you so much, Mrs. Panritmoa,
Thank you
for being on the show.
Thank you so
much. And thank you too. And thank you too for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on the bell notification so you're the first to know when we drop the next gist. Till we'll see you next time. My name is Akarisi Akwaevi Mukuru, and this is In Their Shoes.